Welcome to Efficient Tips for the end of 2020. Brought to you by the Ducati coffee mug, so a little bit of motorcycling joy for the end of this pretty rough year. Wanted to talk a little bit about some of the attack trends we've seen in 2020 and what they sort of mean, rather than just what they are, because I think this is going to inform our decisions for 2021 going in. We'll talk probably another one after this about some of the defense trends and some of the things we're seeing that are going to be so key and that people are struggling with, challenged by, and everything else. But let's move into the fear, uncertainty, and dread phase first. So I don't think it's any surprise that the biggest one is really going to be the ransomware and extortionware, whether that be threats of DDoS against remote workers, whether it be the 20 plus ransomware crews that Caitlin Campano and the ZD Net Zero Day crew identified earlier on in the end of November. But what's really fascinating about ransomware is not the volume of it. We're even seeing in SEC filings ransomware being listed as a risk at the start of this year. But really how it has been the rapid monetization and adoption and how the service has changed and how the attacks have changed even in the time frame. Last year or in years past, zero logon Windows vulnerabilities would have probably been notable more because of how terrifying that vulnerability was. This year, within months or less, we saw it being used by ransomware crews as an initial access vector. It's this rapid monetization, this rapid adoption of tools, and this range of malware. Dridex was a banking Trojan. Now it's a malware delivery platform. TrickBot, Emotet, the list goes on. That has really been the most frightening part about it. And the second piece about this is the number of these ransomware crews that were exploiting old vulnerabilities. Many of us have got used to patching Windows systems. In fact, we should be used to patching our environments. But the number of exposed F5, Pulse Secure, Palo Alto, Fortinet, Citrix, external issues that were exploited as gateways for ransomware crews to get in. I mean, again, when we see the NSA and the CISA going, hey, you should patch your external systems, one, it's a wake up call as to why on earth are you not patching them? And two, the fact that we have to be told is a really alarming piece for the industry. So users are exposed, connectivity is fragile. That's the DDoS play. We're in December the 31st, 2021 today. I had to look at the time for that, not sure why. But even now, we're seeing Citrix being used as a multiplier for DDoS because they can get huge amplification. And the consequences of those attacks, when most of us are working remotely, still is terrifying. So, extortionware, mobile attack apps are also being seen as this vector. So, I think every year for the last five, we've predicted that mobile malware will be a thing. 2020 saw it actually being there. And it is being drowned out by the torrent of ransomware news and the huge number of attacks that happened. But it's there. It's still something we have to concern ourselves about. And again, as we get to this model where we're expecting to be able to get to all the data all the time from all the devices with all the people, but do it securely, it's mobile applications and mobile attack vectors are enormous. And we can't forget that the other attacks are still going on there. Troy Hunt's IOP Power and the number of breached accounts is still frightening, but those are feeding into and being monetized by other vectors. BEC is still continuing, business email compromise, still probably the easiest vector, and COVID-19 and the pandemic has made that even easier to exploit. So we're faced with an evolving, transforming, as a service industry that is monetizing attack vectors and using the most efficient methods to get there. We're going to have to continue to adapt rapidly and to drive this business forward as defenders. And we're going to have to continue to educate users and make security transparent and part of everyday business. Security can't be something we do. Security has to be something part of everything we are and built into everything from day one. We'll talk about some of those security trends next time in New Year. And I want to leave you this one terrifying thought that my coworker Devin Calloway pointed out to me. 2021 can be heard as the year 2020 was victorious, and I don't want that to be the case. So, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you had the best holidays 2020 would let you, and here's to a much better 2021 where we don't let 2020 be that victor. Thanks, everybody. Take care, and I'll talk to you in the next year. Bye bye.